Good morning, science learners. Today we are going to finish up our what is a variable experiment that we set up last week so it could sit over the weekend. And so I need us to turn in your journal to your table of contents page. And we set up what is a variable on page 6. So you need to flip in your journal till you get to page 6. Very good. You should look something like this. We worked on it together. What is a variable is the title at the top. And remember what we did was take a piece of bread and split it into 4 sections. On one of those sections, we wrapped in wax paper. One of those sections, we put in a plastic bag. One of those sections, we put in a paper bag or wrapped it in a piece of newspaper. And the other section, we left uncovered on the plate. So when you got done, it should have looked something like this. On the plates, plastic bag, paper bag, wax paper. Now remember, every time we do an experiment and you don't have the stuff at home, please do not stress Mom and Dad out and Miss Hudson out by saying, I need to go buy these materials, Mom, Dad, Grandma, Grandpa. If you don't have it, you're welcome just to follow along with this video, which will show you everything and have you everything that you need to get a good grade when I get to see those science journals. Hopefully pretty soon, right? All right, so today we're going to take a look at the pieces that we had wrapped up, and we're going to start here with our chart. Remember, we filled in the fresh bread. Smells like yeast. It was soft in the center. It was harder in the crust, and it was brown with white flecks in it. We used those science observation skills to take a look at each one. Now we're going to look at each piece that we have separated into its different wrappings and see if how it is different from before. So I'm going to start with a piece in wax paper, and I'm going to unwrap the piece. Ooh, I noticed right away that the piece is very hard. It is nothing like the fresh bread originally. Oh, and it smells different. I don't have that yeast smell anymore. It smells very dry to me, crumbly. It's falling apart in my hands. Look, you can see the crumbs that come off of it. So it's flaking apart because it's so dry. So we're going to use those science observation skills, and we're going to fill in that it smells dry. It feels crumbly. And looks like what? What did it look like? Take a closer look at it. It's still got those brown and white flecks. Woohoo! Still got those brown and white flecks in it. And the crust is still brown, but it's lost its softness. Looks the same, but lost the softness. So I'm going to fill in my wax paper one. Now I'm going to look at the plastic bag. And you need to be writing this down with me if you can. If you can't see it, I'll scoot you a little closer at the end and you can pause the video. Now I'm going to take out the one in the plastic bag, and oh my goodness, compared to the wax paper, this is still super soft. Look, I can flex and bend it. It's not crumbling like crazy like that other one did. It still smells like yeast. And it's still harder on the crust than it is in the center. Not bad. Cool. So, smells like yeast. Still feels soft. Still looks fresh. All right. Our next piece is going to be the paper. I put mine in a paper bag. You might have wrapped yours in newspaper or some other paper. Oh my goodness gracious. Look at this one. This one. Oh, wow. It's even harder. It's even harder than the piece wrapped in wax paper. It is solid. Look how easy that crumbles when I shake it. I got tons of crumbs. It smells dusty. But it looks the same. I still see the brown and white flecks. I don't see any green growth of any kind. So it didn't mold. It just turned super hard and lost its smell. So in the paper bag, it smelled, what did I say? It smelled what? Let me smell it again. Oh, I'm not sure. It smells like trapped air. Smelled like trapped air. Very solid and dry. Wow. Very crumbly. But it looked the same. So it smelled like trapped air. It had that, I don't know, pent up smell. It was very solid. I mean, even drier than the wax paper. It was very, very crumbly. And it looked the same, though, as a piece of fresh bread. You wouldn't really be able to tell the difference side by side until you picked it up. Ooh, it's also lighter. Oh, kind of cool. All right, last but not least, I need my uncovered piece of bread. Got lots of crumbs. Uncovered piece of bread right here. And that uncovered piece of bread is very similar to my paper wrapped piece of bread. It's very solid. It's very crumbly. It has a slight mold smell to it, a slightly moldy smell to it. It's still, I don't see any green flecks or anything like that on it, but that smell is odd. It's a different smell than the paper bag. It's still very dry. So, smells slightly moldy. Very dry and crumbly. Looks the same. I can't really judge it on look, can I? I can't use my eyes for that observation, my other observations. And let's see. Is it soft? Definitely not soft. It's not soft at all. All right. So I'm going to bring you a little bit closer to the board. This is the part where you pause the video. Make sure you have down all of my lovely observations. Let me see if I can't find the right angle for you to look at. The wax paper smells dry, feels crumbly, and looks the same, but it's lost the softness. The plastic bag smells like yeast. It still feels soft, and it still looks fresh. I think out of all of them, that plastic bag seemed to be the freshest looking. The paper bag smelled like trapped air. It was very solid and dry, very crumbly, but it looked the same as the other pieces. And that uncovered piece smelled slightly moldy. It was very dry and crumbly. It looks the same, but it's not soft at all. So make sure you have these observations down, boys and girls, in that journal. All right. Now we need to go below your chart on your journal page, and you should have filled in these boxes here with our observations. And then we're going to come to the class claim and the class evidence spot below it. All right. So remember, a claim is what we think happened in an experiment, and the evidence is what proves it. Okay. So what do we think happened in the experiment? I think that each piece what? I think that each piece reacted differently based on what they were wrapped in. Did each piece do something different based on what it was wrapped in? They were similar, but each piece was slightly different, how it was reacted to the air over time, right? What's my proof? What's my proof, my class evidence, that each piece reacted differently based on what they were wrapped in? The plastic bag had the softest, freshest piece. The uncovered piece was the driest and crumbliest. The paper bag and the wax paper, did what? They kept them. There are some, they were very similar, right? But it was different, slightly different for each piece. So the name of our experiment is what is a variable? Miss Hudson, why are we doing with bread if the name of the experiment is what is a variable? Well, in science, a variable is what you change in an experiment. So what did we change in this experiment? What was different for every piece of bread? What we wrapped it in. So what is our variable? Our variable is what changes. What is a variable? It's what you change in an experiment to test. Variables change in an experiment. Take a minute or two. Go ahead. I want you to write down, pause me. I'll move out of the way. Pause and write down our class claim and our class evidence. Then I need you to come up with 2 questions that you have about variables that you would like to test further. Okay? Thank you, science learners.